Okay, here I got a map from the US. So here's the area of the Gulf of Mexico. So what you want to do is you place the map on a flat surface. You put your unit, let's say you have the small one, you put the unit on there, and then you take a ring, put the ring over the area, and if you have a larger ring, you can also, we just want to make sure that this is the area is most affected. So depending on the size of the map, this is the size of ring you're going to use. And then you see how I put earphones on the unit. So this is, or if you just have earbuds.
Katharina, can we go back to the whole map thing? Okay. So just before we go on to the earphones, I just want to make it clear to the listening audience that this is for those people who are not in the research project necessarily and are not living in the area, because if they're living in the area, they can just put it up in their home. True?
Exactly. Sure. If you're living in Louisiana, or if you are living in the South Texas area, or if you are living on the west side of Florida and have one of our units,
or the coast of Mississippi, Alabama, any of the Gulf Coast region.
Wherever. You got to imagine, like, this one has a radius of about 65 miles, okay? So wherever...
And that one's called?
And this is the agricultural harmonizer, sorry. That's the agricultural harmonizer. So 65 miles radius, you cover a lot. And you can also hold the unit and tell it what you want to do. Put your intention in there. I know Slim never wanted to know about intentions, but even where he is now, he agrees that intention does make a difference, okay? So you can extend the radius of your unit by using your intention. So if you are 100 miles away from the area that needs protection, then just say go out to where I want you to be. If it's 100 miles or 500, I don't care, okay? So you can use your intention and you'll be surprised, okay? So put your unit on the map and then take a ring to, in this case it's the larger one, to confine the area, okay? And we can also take the smaller one. It doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure this area is what you focus on, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to put the earphones on.
Okay, now, so this is even for the distance work, we're going to put the earphones on.
We always put the earphones on, and we just let the frequency run through the harmonizer.
Now, does it have to be an expensive set of earphones, or can it be a little cheaper earphone?
No, anything. You can get the, sometimes if you're flying on the plane, they give you earphones,
right.
Just take those. The quality of the earphones is not important,
And where do they plug in?
You plug in a CD player.
Okay.
Okay, and run it. I was asked, can you put the frequency on the CD on the iPod? Some people say it takes away from the frequency, so I don't have any report on that. I would say just go with your intuition, and if you put the right intent in there, I'm sure it works.
Okay, so we're going to place the tool, whichever tool they're doing, on top of the map.
Yeah.
Put the ring around it.
Exactly.
Still put the headphones or earbuds on it.
Yes.
And plug that into a CD player, which is playing the CD that they probably got when they purchased their device.
Or
when they got it as part of the research project.
Exactly.
And so they play it so that the person's not hearing it out in the open, but the harmonizer or the tool itself is hearing the frequency.
Because this frequency is necessary to expand it to 55 miles radius. If you don't do that, it has this one has about 1.5 miles radius without frequency. This one has about 300 feet or 100 feet. Radius without a CD, without a frequency. And it has to be this frequency. I was told if we are playing any other music, we change our own home, but it doesn't go out as far. Okay. So this is something you want to keep in mind. And, you know, like if you don't have a CD player or it's broken, try put the harmonizer on the shiny side, okay? And that works with every harmonizer, you know.
Just to place it right on top of the CD
Exactly.
itself, even if it's not
And
plugged.
apparently this is what, I got so many people telling me that I think I better pay attention. At least communicate with you, and then you do it. And if you notice it doesn't work in your area, then just do it the old way, running it through a CD player or a boombox.
Okay.
Okay?
Very good. Now, for the people who are participating in the research project in the Gulf Coast region,
Yeah.
whether or not you have provided the items to them or not,
Yeah.
or they own them, how do they use them in their environment without the map?
If you are living in the area, then I want you to put earphones on your equipment. Those of you who are part of our research project, you get this little box. So what you're going to do is place your unit on the box, and then you also get a CD in addition to that in a blue box. You want to play the CD through the harmonizer in addition, because this special research project, we used all the powers we could get and to multiply it and have a fast response, because I think we are all clear on it that there is not much time to waste. And again, we are focusing on the solution and not on the problems, okay? So our focus, just to tell you that again, is the preservation and the restoration of the Gulf of Mexico, okay? And so this is what you are doing. You put it on the little box, oops, and in addition, you put earphones on and play the CD. You can play the CD like a couple of hours in the morning and then in the afternoon and evening, or you can play 24/7. You just see, and I think Ginger is going to give you more information on that. So this is basically what you are doing. Now I would like to give you a few things that have happened with this unit. We started making maybe a year ago, and we sent it out to the field to some of our distributors to get some reports on what it actually does for them, you know, because usually before we get something out to our customers, we want to make sure we have an idea of what it actually does. So some of the reports people had was like plant growth was just enormously, you know, plants who sometimes didn't have a lot of blossoms. They were like over flourished, really, you know, like, oh my God, you know. Some people reported that the communication between family members was much smoother than it has been. The awareness of what's going around them increased, their intuition. Then air pollution was significantly reduced. Those of you who are familiar with chemtrails, some reported that the chemtrails didn't last as long as they usually did, and they dispersed much faster. Then another one, I talked to her and said, well, I'm still waiting for your report. And so we were talking, and she said, oh, yes, and we didn't have any hurricanes. And she lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So I think there are some nice side effects that can happen when you're playing that, right? And also what can happen, that first there is like, I would call it a homeopathic reaction. You know, it gets worse before it gets better. So what the harmonizers are doing, and not always, but every now and then people report that if there's a lot of disharmony in the area, that it brings up and shows you what you need to take care of to have the harmony. But even they had first disruption, what they were saying was after that they were at ease, they felt much happier and much fuller engaged into life than they have previously.